Right then, welcome back everybody, welcome back, and we return with more Alpha Protocol, and thank God, more coffee. Yeah, the stone issue has all been cleared up, feeling a lot better, got a clean bill of health from the doc, just, you know, couldn't quite determine what it was, but we're assuming, I'm going off the assumption, cut back a little bit on caffeine, drink more water and such, and, that should help, and hopefully this won't be an issue anytime soon. I should be laying off the coffee. In fact, I have. But yeah, I'm interspersing it with more water, tea, and such, and other non-caffeinated sources of hydration. But I am clear for more coffee, and by God, I'm going into this thing ready. Sweet caffeinated mistress, let us never be apart again. Anyway, back to Alpha Protocol, where last week we ran into we had some trouble. We went to thwart the plot to assassinate the president President of Taiwan, and technically we did, but also we kind of fell for a trap partially of our own making. We suspected Omen Deng was the assassin. He suspected much the same of us, and turned out it was someone else entirely. Yes, exactly. Valhalla awaits. So, before we wrap things up here in Taiwan, let's take a look at our email. Oh, here we go. One of my filters picked this up. Thought it might interest you. The sender and receiver are both British MI6 agents. I wonder how long, if ever, it will take the public to learn who was behind the attack on Shahid. K. All my contacts confirm an attack on Sheikh Shahid. Preliminary reports suggest assassination by cruise missile. Need better details. Israel? U.S.? Both are being quiet, but inconsistently quiet. They don't have their talking points memorized, and that suggests this is news to them, too. So yeah, it's strongly, even to intelligence agencies, they're finding out that this wasn't any of the usual suspects that launched these missiles, which indicates strongly that it was Halbech's doing. And then you got Scarlet Lake here. Believe it or not, I'm still in Taipei. I'm guessing you got out. I can't believe Sung survived getting shot. Guess he was paranoid enough to wear a vest. I'll bet good money that whatever person or group is behind this will try again, and next time aim for the head. Not surprisingly, he's been keeping out of the public appearances, not just because he's worried about assassins. I mean, say what you will about Halbech, they don't do half measures. Exactly, yeah. There's like a bunch of, you gotta figure there'd be any agency with a spy satellite would be like, okay, we've got missiles, where are they coming from, where are they going, who fired them, and just everything about this would scream international. Everything about what Halbech's doing would be triggering like 10 different kinds of international incidents. But, video games. Anyway, the riots are out of control, and there's too much going on to leave right now. Never seen things so tense. They're shutting down sections of the city, and there's a curfew in effect. People are worked up, and they're eager to lay the blame even before all the facts are in. The body count has risen from initial reports. 30 dead as of yesterday, 30 dead as of today, more wounded, and any chance of peaceful demonstrations are remote. Whatever happens here, it's going to start a chain reaction in Asia. I can feel it. Yep, we did get us some more Halbech files. As you predicted, the People's Republic of China has a glut of US dollars and they're paying handsomely for weaponry. The Taiwan government can't step to the same price, but we've given them a discount. And in doing so, I think we bypassed the bidding war for their highway reconstruction project. Attached is a list of itemized sales. We've gone to great lengths to make sure we're selling weapons with different ammunition requirements. If when fighting breaks out, we don't want them scrounging each other's ammo. We want them coming back to us for more bullets. If Best Friend is a success, we should look into selling the services of our military advisors, to both sides, obviously. I'm suggesting we step up our foreign language training so that we'll have supply to match the demand. So yeah, Halbech is transparently preparing to take advantage of political instability in Taiwan, and I think we need to expose that. So yeah. Found some dirt on Halbech that might make for interesting headline news. Halbech is selling weapons to both the People's Republic of China as well as Taiwan. I don't know if that's actually illegal or just morally suspect, but I'm sure the Taiwanese and Chinese media outlets would love to hear about all this. And off you go. Alright, and I think that maxes out our friendship with Scarlet. So going forward, we can probably sell them on the black market. We don't need to boost her rep anymore. Anyway, she found out more about Deus Vault, which is this hidden... it's some sort of hidden project within Alpha Protocol. Deus Vult, also translated as Deus le Volt, or Dieu le Volt if you're a fan of French. I have no idea how that's pronounced, I apologize. It means God wills it, and as a catchphrase, it has its origins in the Christian Crusades. It also happens to be the name of a fully deniable, officially non-existent branch of the U.S. government dedicated to espionage without accountability. Deus Vult was the precursor to Alpha Protocol. She mentioned a DV server that she was going to put a bug on, and these are the results of what she found out. Snooping around on Parker's DV server has been highly enlightening, to say the least. Looks like Parker was an accountant and analyst for Deus Vult. While he never did a moment of field work, he had his hand in political assassination, forced rendition, false flag attacks, partisan raids, and even election fraud and interrogation against U.S. citizens. Or at least that's what I can put together. Parker doesn't keep a diary, and all this happened in days before emails. But Parker is a human number processor, and he's kept records of costs, kills, and numeric consequences of his work. You should see the spreadsheet where he graphs the frequency of state-funded assassination with the rise in voter turnout. Creepy stuff. The server had a ton of expense reports for things like Operation Anti-Venom and Operation Post-Process, but no context as to what these ops actually entailed. If time permits, I'll explore the archive some more. Yeah, I had never heard of that phrase translated in French before, so I'm assuming this is... Yeah, I will defer to your knowledge of French, whether that's correct or not. It sounds a little funky to me, but yeah, in any case, larger points, Alpha Protocol has existed before in previous iterations. Deus Vult was one of them, and Parker was around when that happened. More on that later. Anyway, it's time for us to skedaddle. So yeah, remaining 2 nodes, Moscow and Rome. We will be going to Moscow next. An Alpha Protocol safe house in Moscow, which serves as a base of operations for attempting to track the path of the missing missiles that were shipped to Saudi Arabia through Moscow. So yeah, we determined that the missiles Shahid was using came through here. Halbech as a distributor, we need to find them.
Welcome to Moscow, Mike. How do you like your new apartment?
Nice digs. I see where all that Black Ops funding really goes now.
It's a pretty swanky apartment.
Alpha Protocol does have its upside.
Jealous.
Of you freezing your butt off in Moscow? Not so much. Although there is a certain appeal to sitting in that loft drinking cocoa while you are crawling around in the snow.
Ooh, you're a cruel...
Hey, Zero.
Alright, down to business then. Do you have a plan of attack for Moscow?
I've got a few leads from Saudi to follow up on. We'll see where those take me.
Interesting.
Sounds like a solid plan. What will you follow up on first?
Not sure yet. The missile launchers were moved through Leningradsky Station. There might be intel there. I've also got a CIA informant codenamed Grigori, and a mob underboss called Lazo.
Finding those missiles is important, although more information would be helpful. But from his file, Grigori looks like the type who would sell information about you to interested parties. Lazo might be able to provide some leads too.
Getting the lay of the land would be helpful. I'd rather not walk into an ambush if I can help it.
Smart plan. Call me when you have anything.
Alright, so yeah, we have us a swank penthouse apartment in Moscow. Hard to think in just 12 years this place would basically be locked down like North Korea, but time makes fools of us all. Anyway, let's see what's on the news.
Tragedy was averted today when an assassination attempt on Taiwanese President Ronald Sung proved unsuccessful. Government spokesmen say the president was warned about the attempt earlier this week by an anonymous source, which convinced him to wear a bulletproof vest during his speech. The president was taken to Taipei City Hospital, where doctors describe his condition as shaken but stable. News of the president's survival was not enough to quell riots that broke out.
Yeah, it's just sort of repeating the stuff that Scarlett was telling us. And obviously that'd be different if we had given her the... If we had given Sung the information about the riots instead of the assassination plan. He would be dead, but it would save people on the ground. The net result would be more or less unchanged, and we'll get into the broader strokes of Halbech's plans as we go, but they kind of engineered it that no matter what happens, they come out ahead. Okay, so it's a different dialect thing. That makes sense. Anyway, new town, new appearances. Let's mix things up. Yes, this is perfect. This is the look that's doing it for me. Oh, man. I know, they could do so much more with the hair, and I think it's because they're working in. I don't know. I get the impression they were working under certain restrictions with what they could do with the hair, and they didn't want anything that could be. They didn't want anything that would require hair physics, in short, given the way that Mike has to move. That's my understanding. But anyway, yes. Say goodbye to Chiang Kai-shek. Say hello to, well, we had Peter the Great, we had Ivan the Terrible, we have Dmitri the Frustrated. Why is he frustrated? How do you know he's frustrated? Because he's always Russian. Ho-ho! Anyway. I'm not even a little bit sorry for that one. Y'all know what you're in for. Right, let's get to browsing the internet. Alright. Hey, where'd you find this? Actually, I'm sure if you told me, you'd have to kill me. I'll give my editor a call. Think if I hurry, I can get this to a print piece circulator on the Pacific Rim. Cool. I go where my efforts are needed. Now. So, we've got 3 missions coming up and a whole bunch of intel on them. Grigori will be our first stop. We'll want to know as much as we can about him. He's an information broker. And this is going to be pricey, but we're gonna get everything. So yeah, Dimitri is going to be a high member of Braco's gang, so he'll be at the station. Weapon shipments, yes, that's also helpful. Dossier in the VCI. Now, they've been mentioned before. They're kind of a PMC, and they will feature more prominently in this section of the game. By use the security staff will no doubt yield helpful information regarding your mission. Done. Now. Can I afford anything else? I could use an armor upgrade if I can afford one. I probably cannot. Just trying to remember exactly where my character is. No. Oh, back, there we go. Alright. So, yeah. Almost all the way up on sabotage. Decent on pistols and shotguns. But we're lacking a certain ranged option, which, you know, it would make sense to go with assault rifles there, but I never actually tried submachine guns all that much. There's a fair bit of overlap with shotguns, but there's something about that I like the audacity of going dual wield on these things, and the perk on that looks kind of fun, where you basically don't have to reload while firing this. It just shoots straight from your ammo pool. But we will get into that later. Bomb upgrade kit. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. More fire means bigger death. Now we can go to a mission. Alright. So like meeting Stephen Heck in Taiwan, Grigori responds favorably if you come to visit him first. And if we do the other ones first, he'll be slightly offended. There's a few interesting options we have with getting him to cooperate. So let us go talk to this fine gentleman.
Ah, Michael Thornton. Welcome to Moscow.
Hey,
you are fresh from Taipei, yes?
Our reputation precedes us.
Terrible thing, the attempt on Sung's life. Very bad assassin. Or very smart president.
There were losses and gains for a few people, which is why I'm here.
I feel honored. Your first time in Moscow, and I am your first stop. What brings Michael Thornton, world traveler, to this humble bar?
Do we have to jump right to business? I could really use a drink first.
Then you are lucky you've come to a bar. I am short on cash, so you will have to make your own way.
That go for events going on in Moscow, too?
And here I thought we were not going to jump right to business.
Sometimes the dialogue's a little tricky
Cough
there.
like that, this bar may not be the best place to hang
health,
out.
you wouldn't
Second
know to
hand
ask
smoke.
that until he starts coughing and the timer's almost up by the time you get a chance.
This month. Second-hand smoke is my way of getting by.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt your coughing, or your drinking, but I wanted to know who Halbech's friends are here in Moscow.
What specifically do you wish to know? If they have friends at all? Now that is a question in itself.
I want to know who Halbech's working with.
That is a difficult question. but I know someone who would know the answer. There is a man, Sergei Surkov. He runs several businesses in Moscow. He may know who Halbech is dealing with.
Sergei Surkov. Running a check on the name now. We're getting a lot of hits. He shouldn't be hard to find.
Nice of him to wait till the earpiece is done.
Although, judging from his contact list, figuring out
Yeah,
where his
exactly.
appointment is could take some time.
Alright, I think I can wait a little longer. And there's a few other leads I'd like to track down.
Yeah, I'm sure
You
none of
are
the people
planning
lurking
to
around are like in
investigate
organized crime or
Leningradsky
anything.
Station, yes? Maybe you can do me a favor.
A favor.
Your American missiles are not the only cargo that comes through the station. If you go, maybe you could divert these shipments accidentally, of course.
What, you mean change the shipping labels? And me without my label maker.
It is more simple than that. The box destination is stenciled on the side, but it is a code. Change it with a marker, and the boxes will end up somewhere else. To a friend of ours who will be happy to reimburse us, maybe do a little business with you.
I'll think about it.
Do that. And if you need a place to buy weapons, armor, devices, I can help you there too. I may not know Halbech, but I know many others who are not friends of theirs.
I
Hey,
appreciate that.
thanks, brother.
What's the price tag for the reference?
Directing a customer to a shopkeeper friend, no price tag, just business.
Alright. Thanks, Grigori. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you not being an asshole when talking to me, Michael. Other agents, too stiff. Others, too much cowboy. You come to me as a human being. Should be rewarded, no?
Right. Because we were relatively friendly, Grigori was more than willing to hand it over. Now, there's a few interesting variations on that conversation. If you are straightforward and professional, he's willing to give you the same amount of information, but it might actually cost you money. Or if you go aggressive, you can actually just slam his head on the bar and break a bottle over his head, and he'll cooperate that way, but that will have consequences down the line. Specifically, he'll warn about you to a later mission, and the people there will be better armed. Now, interestingly, you might actually want that to happen based on what happens in that mission, because, well, let's just say you'll have more than one enemy to worry about. But anyway, we got his cooperation, we now know who to look for, and we can proceed with the other missions. No such thing, you got a whale on that cowbell. Anyway, now that we have Grigori, we have more stuff we can buy from the clearinghouse, and I think the Friends in Low Places perk actually gives us a discount. And we got more information on assaulting the mob boss's yacht between Lazo and his boss that will highlight a target of opportunity on your mission. Alright, good to know. Nice. Let's see what exactly that did do. Let's see. Okay, be prepared. Increased ammo capacity. Nice. Friends in low places. Nice, so we actually get a 10% discount on stuff. Outstanding. It pays to be civilized. Literally. Alright, how we doing? How are we doing? Okay, so we got a decent amount of trank pistol ammo. Let's do it. Alright, next up, Lazo's yacht and retrieve data. Go ahead, Ivory, get comfy. Alright, so yeah, a lieutenant for the Russian mob, Lazo is throwing a party on his yacht in Moscow. Board the yacht and find out what he knows about the missiles and their destination. If he becomes hostile, deal with him as necessary and then search the yacht for intel. Man formerly in Lazo's employ suggests you disrupt the entertainment center to pull the guards out of their patrols. Interesting. An intercepted email called attention to an electronic account accessible only from Lazo's laptop. Let's get to it. So one kind of understated thing I like about this game is, for a role-playing game, there's not a lot of filler. In fact, there's almost nothing I would cut out in terms of actual content. I mean, there probably was stuff that was cut out in development, but there's no real side questing to do. There's just things you can do on the way to your objectives. It's a very focused experience, and the main divergences are decisions you make along the way and how you spec your character. So there is replayability, but the overall experience isn't something that's going to take a whole lot of time. You can clear the game. You can probably clear it in like maybe not even a week, really. Like if you know what you're doing, you can clear each of the hubs in one. You can clear one hub in a few hours. So it's a pretty streamlined experience. If it was just a little more polished, it would definitely be easier to recommend. But as it is, there is a lot to like here in spite of how jank the combat is and some other things that aren't quite as well implemented as they could be. Alright. I know that guy's going to sneak around this way. Careful, friend. These are choppy waters. Ha-ha! Yeah, I have to assume that, like, actually choking someone out, and, you know, obviously it doesn't work at all like it does in video games, but it would take more time than is done here. So yeah, he probably is just going for the neck break, and, you know, he's counting that as... He's counting that as non-lethal in spirit. Alright. It's a little tricky to see those guys up top. We might want to go inside. In fact, I think that's what the intel told us about. If we mess with the entertainment system, that might pull some of the guards away. Yeah, we'll want to deal with him. This guy checking out the painting. Oh, shit. Okay. Careful. Alright, so we got some boys playing some video games in here. Okay, that guy very clearly grunted before I choked him out. And this guy didn't hear it at all. Video games. They ruin your hearing and your life. Alright, Exactly, yeah. You got it. Let's have a look. Alright, so we have... the glow on that's a little too bright, but it'll probably some kind of gauntlet knockoff. We have Synapse Wars, City Streets, Gulag. Ooh, all the kids love Gulag. Space Zombies, Super Warriors, Gulag again, and Cosmic Crusader. Nice! All the top hits of the 1980s. I think, actually, there's a specific note in the dossier of the Mafia here that says this gang in particular has kind of a weird obsession with the 80s, and they're one of their figures in particular. Let's just say he leaves a he leaves an impression. Okay, so these aren't right. These are just strobe lights; they're not cameras. Good. All right. I can just get you to turn around. Or we can do this. And I was trying to save on money, but y'all had to make this complicated. Anything up here we can get? Oh, come on, guys. Now, I know the Russian Mafia is not necessarily big on etiquette, but use a coaster. Clean this place up, man. You're literally just standing around doing nothing. Oh yeah, that was not even remotely cover. I think they were thinking that if they just ignore me, I'll eventually go away. Where's the stairs down? Ah, here they are. And you know, I can understand the logic behind that.
Lazo, you're so crazy.
Alright. There's someone in here. Yeah, it's like they don't actually have line of sight on your body, and there's just kind of a center of mass thing that they can detect. Alright. We'll just do this. Doink. Bypass keyboard, huh? Oop. We have a stripper here. We'll have to be careful. We do have civilians on board.
One is brave of throwing another party.
Alright, let's mess with the stereo system. Alright, that gets one guy moving. Where are you going? Oop, I think he's coming this way. Doink! Oh, now here's something. Oh, wait. Now here's something I enjoy doing. And I don't mean taking down the nice stripper lady. I want you to consider this just for the moment. We have the guy standing right there. We have an unconscious stripper and a very obvious spy here. This guy is looking at a blank wall. I've hereby dubbed this the most interesting wall in the world. I mean, look at this guy. He's not even moving. He's just intensely focused on it. And of course, you know, the stripper despawns. She is only visible when you look at her. When you look away, she doesn't exist. This game has some really questionable statements on women, I tell you what. Anyway, thank you for being my object lesson in what happens when you have when you make perception your dump stat. You can go to sleep now. Anyway, right, Lazo is in there. There's a dude over here. I was gonna do Chokey Breaky, but I realized I did that for Dishonored. I need some new choke puns. Alright. Ah, someone's having some fun. Now, hold on a minute. Okay, so we got a lady here. She is not completely dressed, but still clearly wearing her boots. These are someone else's boots. So yeah, she was... I think we're... Wait a minute, we got 2 sets of boots here. So our stripper friend here had 3 sets of boots on. The Russian Mafia is weird. Weird and wrong. Hey guys, good to see you. Anyway, right. Kick back and relax, buddy. You too. Sorry. Alright, now given the circumstance, they're expecting you to have raised the alarm at this point, so these guys are already on alert. And, you know, presumably they figured out that all their friends are unconscious and they're a little concerned. Is there anything else in this room? No. Might be possible for us to completely ghost this mission. Pardon me, sir. I'm just a visitor. from the Choke Republic. Ha ha! Alright, damn.
What the fuck?
Oh, he sees it. He saw that and he didn't see me. Doink! Now she's the third stripper in here. He didn't let the others take their boots off on the left, because that's less weird. Exactly, yeah. You know, he's a guy with very specific tastes. I'm not here to judge, I'm just here for information. Anyway, since we didn't exactly get a chance to talk to Lazo, we need to check out his computer. Or his boat, basically. Presumably, the captain's computer will have some information. Yep. What? Uh-oh. Oh dear, we got company. Speaking of Perception 1 builds... Now, what do we have here? Hi?
Lazo has been terminated. Move out.
I mean, you know, I knocked him unconscious. Wouldn't say terminated.
What the hell's going on here?
Oh, hell. She's not in a talking mood. Okay. So, we have G22 agents and some weird girl after us. In fact, did we get any information about her? Oop. Oh. Thanks, you. I jank it out again. Alright. So most of the existing information on Codename Sis comes from Interpol records, ones that were isolated when a computer virus attacked the servers in 2006 and erased almost 3 years of evidence compiled on G22. So she's some sort of G22 special agent. She relies on 2 revolvers as her favorite weapons. While she's a marksman with both, she frequently needs to reload in order to keep using the weapons. Assuming her first shots do not take out a target, it is recommended that agents take advantage of the pistol's reload to subdue her. Alright. So yeah, she is weird, got kind of a goth thing going on, but more importantly, she's extremely dangerous. And, you know, she's got her boys with her, we need to deal with those.
Flying back up here.
Whoopah! Alright. Drag rounds ain't gonna do it. Nope. We will avoid phosphorus rounds, and not only because we're running low on those. So yeah, she's annoyingly good with dual revolvers, but she's also very good in melee. If you get close, if you're not melee spec, she will destroy you. Actually, where's my, Here we go. Pretty much. Oh, shit. But yeah, she is, we do basically have a revolver onslaught thing going on with her.
Force is insufficient.
Oop. So yeah, because of their fancy optics, G22 agents are uniquely susceptible to flashbangs. So overcharge one, launch one, use or disable them. Now, right. Let's see if we can chase her out of hiding. Alright, she's on the move. Ah! Don't stick to stuff, dude. I saw that. Where'd you go? I think she got stuck on something. Shit! Ow! Damn. Jesus Christ. Okay, getting our ass kicked here. Is there a medkit somewhere? I don't think so. Better fly her again. Damn! Alright, Mike, haul ass. Does it? So yeah, the shotgun actually does respectable damage on bosses. The difficulty is getting close enough and surviving long enough to do so. Actually, I should probably be... Damn. Alright. Should probably be upping my endurance and getting this toughness skill. That'd probably help me survive. Damn. Easy does it. No, we're not exactly in good cover here. Jesus Christ. Almost down if we could just stay in cover long enough. Alright, over here, brother. Almost got chain shot up. Alright, she's down. Alright, kiddo.
What, nothing to say? This silent treatment of yours is starting to hurt my feelings. And after all we've been through, too.
Yeah, no, we're trying to stay on good
So I'm
terms with
willing to let this go.
G22, so...
You keep pushing it.
She's not a very talkative person. Yeah, I don't hit girls. I mean, I shoot at them, I set them into fire, I knock them out if they're in the way. But definitely not hitting. That would be mean. Yeah, she's
Mike, are you still there?
given us a...
Someone was
apparently a
jamming
token
the
of her
frequency.
appreciation.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Towards what end, we do not yet know. Right. So intelligence revealed that a lieutenant for the Russian mob, Lazo, was throwing a party on his yacht in Moscow, and that he might be a source concerning the Halbech missiles. Agent Thornton boarded the yacht to find out what Lazo knew about the missiles and their destination. When Lazo was encountered, however, he attacked Agent Thornton immediately. I mean, you know, this is how I'm telling the story, so it doesn't look like I attacked them without provocation. Anyway, after dealing with Lazo, Agent Thornton made his way to the upper decks, encountering resistance from a terrorist group known as G22, who were after the same information. Agent Thornton made his way to Lazo's computer system and downloaded an IP address for Lazo's boss. As he was completing the download, he encountered a G22 team led by a mute teenage girl. She refused to identify herself and attacked. Right. Thornton defeated the enemy agent, then attempted to reason with her. She refused to speak. Now, here's the thing. We don't know she's mute yet. That's just kind of a guess here. So yeah, she refused to speak. Of course she refused to speak. She can't. But anyway, we're going to find out what her deal is and what G22 is all about.
What's up with the
Very,
connection?
very soon.
Looks like something's interfering with the transmission. Or albatross. It's been a while since Taipei. I ran into a little friend of yours tonight, hanging out with your G22 buddies. She's quite the little firecracker, although she doesn't talk much. Well, except with those pistols of hers.
That would be my bodyguard, sis. And I know you spared her life. That's why I'm calling.
I didn't want to fight her. I was only there for Lazo. But she didn't give me much choice.
It was under my orders, Mike. But I didn't realize you would be there. Else, I would have instructed sis to behave differently.
So should I ask what G22 is doing in Moscow? You guys sure seem to get around.
It's a rather long answer, Mike. One I'd like to discuss more, if you'd be up for it.
Is your bodyguard invited? If so, I'll need body armor.
I'm afraid it's required she be present. We're not supposed to be apart. It's how G22 operates in the field. But like you, I tend to bend the rules for the sake of the greater good. I'll leave the choice up to you, but I can't wait long. If you want to discuss your future, then meet me at the following coordinates. It isn't far. And come alone.
Alright, let's do this.
Alright. But I better not be walking into an ambush. And tell Sis to keep her distance.
I will do so. I will not wait long, Mike. So if you want to speak to me, you'll have to do it soon.
Alright. So yeah, as you can imagine, that conversation takes on a fairly different tone if you haven't done Taipei first. So either that mission or this mission are going to be your first exposure to them, and that might color your interactions going forward. Because yeah, if you got guys coming out of the woodwork with spec ops goggles and machine guns, you're not going to know what the hell their deal is. But if you dealt with them before, that's going to change how you want to deal with them. Anyway, right. We will spread our skills around a little bit. Sabotage is the one I'll take all the way up, and we'll sort of get good-ish skills in pistol shotguns and start leveling up some machine guns. Just for funsies. I know which builds would break the game over backwards, and that's taking stealth and pistols all the way to the top. Chain Shot lets you Master Chain Shot lets you take out 5 guys at once, or literally kill a boss almost instantly. So yeah, that's a very obvious way to break the game in half. But there are other fun ways to spec your character and approach combat. But anyway, let's find out. Let's see what we have learned. Alright. Hey Mike, Westridge is spending the day in the shooting range, so nobody's looking over my shoulder for the time being. I was gonna see if I can't dig up a little on the agents who were in Saudi Arabia for you. Who do you want me to research? So we've got options here. We can go Westridge. The op lead is the first obvious first suspect. Sean's not smart enough to pull this off, and Parker's too spineless in defeat. We can go after Darcy. We can go career veteran, analyst savant, or hyper-ambitious man-child with an influential dad. Or Parker. It's always the quiet, antisocial type. Dig around and see what you can find on Parker, assuming he already hasn't covered his tracks. Considering he's been with the agency longest, and the server he was accessing has information on a previous iteration of Alpha Protocol, he is the... of the 3, initially I would have suspected Westridge of being behind this. But Parker ultimately has more information to unearth. So we'll go with him. Oop, thank you, eyes. Don't mind if I do. Got skill points for answering email. Outstanding. Yep. Mr. Thornton, while you are, of course, encouraged to spend your money on inventory, I am an information broker first and illegal weapons dealer second. I've added your clearinghouse credentials to my short list of buyers. Okay, so yeah, Grigori will have his people sell to us. I think that might be a bug. I'm pretty sure it already was. Right. So, we got information for the next missions, one of which is we've actually technically done enough missions to find where Sergei Surkov is, the guy we're looking for, and he's at the U.S. Embassy right now, so we'll want to pick that up. But, let's see, do we even have enough money for this? I don't think we do. We'll get the stuff for this first, contact Albatross. So we'll want to learn as much as we can about them. Because they'll be a recurring presence here in Moscow. See, where are you? Did I pass you up? I did, yes. So yeah, Little is known of codename Albatross. It is believed he is a former CIA analyst who faked his death and surgically altered his face and fingerprints. How a low-ranking, non-violent analyst would turn up leading a cell of the covert G22 organization is even more difficult to understand. Whether or not Albatross shares his identity I can't talk today. Whether or not Albatross shares his identity with the former CIA analyst or was responsible for the murders of other individuals within his division, he should be approached with caution and taken in by any means necessary. Albatross rarely becomes directly involved in an operation, and the rare occasions he does, he's usually accompanied by his bodyguard, codenamed Sis. The exact relationship between the two is unknown, but any attempt to apprehend Albatross must have a plan for dealing with Sis first. Cell leaders in G22 are required to be accompanied by a bodyguard at all times, and to travel alone, or send a bodyguard on a mission, is a violation of G22 protocol. So we're getting the sense that beneath his professional facade, as he himself told us, he's willing to deviate from protocol if he believes it's important enough. So Albatross and G22 focus on monitoring events and establishing intelligence infrastructures rather than direct intervention. At times, G22 has supplied intelligence to both sides of a known conflict within the span of a few months. The end result doing nothing more than reinforcing the status quo while crushing whatever large-scale outbreaks of violence erupt. As much as G22 is observed with accumulating information, they are skilled at denying adversaries any information or intelligence on their own organization, making their motivations difficult to ascertain. So, we are getting a lot of only half answers about Albatross and G22. As mentioned, there have been previous iterations of Alpha Protocol, and it is commonly theorized, although I don't know if it's ever clearly stated, that G22 itself might be a previous iteration of them. Or that Albatross might have been in the same position we were at one point. But anyway, let us go meet with our esteemed gentleman of espionage and see what he knows.